where do we find ourselves? Even if we live in the city or we live in the suburb, spiritually, the culture is like a desert sometimes. And that's because there's not a lot of places where you can go for a watering hole or a well. Spiritually, it can be difficult to find. And one of the reasons for that is that our culture is always telling us this myth, right? It's always projecting this mirage, to keep with the desert analogy, that we are fully self-reliant as human beings. So we're always being told one way or the other, invent yourself, sustain yourself. Don't ever sacrifice your own happiness, whatever that means, in a very nafsi sense, for any sort of greater good. So that's where we find ourselves. But as Muslims, we know better, because we know that that real reliance, true reliance, can only be on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, on the Lord of all the worlds. And that a truly authentic self, because we're always in search of authentic selfhood, right, nowadays, but that a truly authentic self would be one that is happy in its surrender to Allah, in fear and in awe, in hope, as well, the joyful and the terrifying aspects, but always submitted to Allah. So that would be a true self, and that would be true reliance. Lady Hajar's behavior and her example and her exemplary leadership in this regard is, for someone like me, just aspirational, because I'm a mother too, and that is the hardest test for me, having tawakkul Allah to enter into a desert with my child, in reliance of Allah, that Allah will not let us perish. That is a tremendous lesson, and one that we can all begin to ponder, or continue to ponder in the month of al-Hijjah, inshallah. But, what would that reliance and that sacrifice mean for her is that she would know that ultimately it's Allah who has them. It's not her ability as a mother to protect. It's not Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam's ability as a father to provide, right? Ultimately, the provision is from Allah. The security is from Allah. The days of the life are written by Allah. So these are eternal truths, cosmic truths that, alhamdulillah, as Muslims, we receive the word that teaches us these, and now it is our practice, our belief, our faith, our ibadah, inshallah, that will allow us to know it, truly know it, in heart and body and mind, inshallah.